What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate y'all connecting with me while I do my 10,000 steps today. I see I got arms out because somehow, some way, it's 75 degrees today in Detroit. Mid 70s, late October. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. I'm definitely okay with it being a mild Halloween season. And let me go ahead and say again, I appreciate all y'all who have joined me along for the ride, the grind to 5,000 subs by the end of the year. Somebody commented on a different video saying that I'll hit that number before December. I would love for that to happen. If it does happen, though, we just, we'll raise the goal. Maybe to 5,500. But we'll see. As of right now, we still a little bit of a ways off. But let's get into y'all favorite red pillars, man. The fresh and fit guys. Now, it's a lot of different red pillars who I don't really agree with. In fact, most of them I don't agree with. And it's not because there aren't any good messages in red pill. There are some. The problem is that the guys who are teaching them, their intentions don't seem genuine. They just seem to have this hatred for women because, back in high school, they wasn't getting none. They weren't the jock. They weren't the smart guy. They weren't the funny guy. They weren't the handsome guy. And it's spilled over into their adult life. They seem to be very much hostile at all women because they wasn't getting laid back in high school. At least that's my theory. The two of them, fresh and fit, they strike me as that exact archetype. All right, the guys that they were just total nobodies in high school. They were largely who the girls ignored. And now they got a few dollars, so they're getting the attention from women that they never could get before. Because let's be for real here, either one of them, if not for the income they generated from doing their podcast, they still wouldn't be banging IG models and whatnot. So now that they have that, instead of being we made it, they seem to have this disdain overall for female nature. We know women are hypergamous. There's nothing about that to be mad at. Understand female nature and move accordingly. But they've been banned here and there on all types of different platforms. And it's very odd to me because I don't think I've ever seen before people wreck all of their opportunities so capably before. I mean, these guys, I think I'm gonna walk down this way. I'm gonna cross the street though real quick for that truck get here. As I work. These guys, I've watched them, and it's like Myron more specifically than Walter, because Walter doesn't really talk a whole lot, and when he does talk, he don't talk much. I'll just say that, man. We're gonna keep it respectful. We're gonna keep it cordial. I'm not gonna diss that brother, man. I don't know him personally. I have nothing against him personally, so I'm not gonna even drag him in any way. I'm just gonna say that it seems like Myron is the one that really messes up the opportunities, not Walter, because Walter, he don't really talk all that much. It'd be all of the conspiracy theory stuff, all of the stuff attacking Jewish folks and stuff. This usually be Myron, and it results in a ban, and you can't make no money off of your respective platforms when you're banned. They messed up YouTube, all right? They messed up and they got their YouTube channel demonetized. And even though they tried to pretend like this wasn't a big deal, of course it was a big deal. By a long shot, YouTube is where they were the most successful at. By a long shot. They could sit up here and pretend like that wasn't the case all they want. That was the case. Just simply, if you have a YouTube channel yourself and you've ever made any money off of it, they will tell you YouTube out of all these platforms is the most lucrative for them, unless you're unless you got some sort of deal with one of the other platforms. Like let's say you got a creator deal with Twitch, then Twitch will be more profitable for you. But without a deal in place, just going off of just straight earning revenue, losing YouTube hurts. Now me, I don't live off of YouTube. So if I were to be demonetized, this wouldn't hurt me in any way, shape, or form, because I don't live off of YouTube revenue. But if I were losing YouTube would be catastrophic. And I know it had to be for them. They try to make it seem like, oh, we got all these other money-making revenue streams. I'm not saying that they don't. If it's wise that if you were making good money off of YouTube, for you to dump it into other things to produce, I don't want to say passive income. I mean, you want to make some passive income opportunities for yourself, but more often than not, before it gets to that point of being passive, you're going to have to do some legwork with it. So it's in your interest to dump money into other potential revenue streams, and not just take YouTube money and buy Lamborghinis and buy a mansion and all that sort of stuff. It's very much in your interest to invest it in places. And I don't really pocket watch like that. So if they say that's what they doing, then I'm assuming that's what they doing. But I'm doubtful that whatever they're earning. So I'm not saying that they're not earning anything. I'm just saying that I'm doubtful that whatever they're earning, it is enough to cover the hole left behind from them being demonetized on YouTube. Then they go over to Twitch. Okay, Twitch is another place that you could potentially do well, coming from YouTube. And even though they probably did pretty good on Twitch, it was just overall a decent substitute for YouTube, not parallel to YouTube. Just like, okay, we're making a few grand less a month, we'll deal. We're making like 4 or 5 grand less a month, we'll deal. You get what I'm saying? So they're making money, but it's not what it was, but it's enough for them to be like, okay. But then they mess around and they keep getting banned over there. And then the one guy, Myron, he messed around and he got demonetized on X. And I have no idea how he did that. Because since Elon bought Twitter, now known as X, it's pretty free with, language. You can say a lot of different stuff over there and not really be penalized for it. So how he managed to get demonetized over there is beyond me. And then they got banned not too long ago again, because they got reinstated on Twitch, got banned again, and now just got reinstated, and seemingly within 24 hours got banned again, but this time it's looking like it's a perma ban. So you got banned on YouTube, you got banned on TikTok, you got banned on Twitch multiple times, and now seemingly permanently, and you got demonetized all over on X. Why was your behavior or whatever it is that you were doing not corrected long before now? When you lost the YouTube money, and they had a really good setup with YouTube. Like, if you think about where they were at a year ago, they had a really good setup going with YouTube. They were so hot at the moment. They were so popular, and it just seemed like they were just gonna just keep rising and rising and rising. Like, they had a really good thing going on. What I don't get is when they monkeyed up the YouTube, channel that they managed to, I have no idea what they were transporting. But when they monkeyed up the YouTube channel, when they managed to get demonetized over there, why wasn't the lesson learned then? Why wasn't it like, damn, we really dropped the bag with this, and we need to make sure that we make the necessary changes to where this doesn't happen to us again? Because we can't lose our livelihood in total. No, they went over to platform after platform after platform after platform, seemingly like we're gonna. Ooh, what was that? Like it was a flyer. No, a bee actually. But it's like they went from platform to platform to platform, like just trying to get banned with a vengeance. And it's interesting because not too long ago, wasn't Fresh like trying to reprimand or scold Sneeko for messing up all of his money-making opportunities? How basically, and I get what he was trying to say, is just he's not very good at articulating himself. But I do get what he was trying to say. He's just not very good at saying it. But he was basically, in a nutshell, this is what I took from it, that you had the option of speaking the truth of whatever truth it is, because that's what he kept saying. He'd rather speak the truth and you know, and suffer the consequences. So you had the option of speaking the truth and getting banned, or not and continuing to make money, and you chose to do the former. It had consequences, basically. So how do you go from condemning Sneeko from doing that to letting your boy who sits across the table from you mess up y'all opportunities in the same way? Because the difference between them and Sneeko is that Sneeko got some deal with Kick now, and also recently he's been reinstated. His monetization has been reinstated over on YouTube. So Sneeko's not looking like the goofy one anymore. It's them. So it's just really odd to me, man. These guys, I know people take a lot of shots at them, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just genuinely wondering, like, why or how do you mess up all of your opportunities to make money? I mean, what they were doing, they were really killing it at one point in time. If you would have asked me a year ago, would they have wound up in a situation where they pretty much demonetized / banned on all of the popular platforms, I wouldn't have believed it, because why would I have? I would have thought there's no way they are going to mess up this good thing that they have going on. And then you skip forward to now, and here we are. They have completely messed up everything to where, what was Myron trying to do? He was trying to like charge his fans to answer questions. Like, you know, you can send him money. I don't remember exactly what the way it was, but you could basically send him money and he'll answer questions for you. And I'm just like, what value does that bring anybody? What questions would they possibly have for you? What would they ask you, bro? Like, how do they completely torpedo their career, if you won't even call it that? It wasn't really long enough to call it a career. But yeah, how to torpedo my success before it even really gets started. I mean, what really would anybody ask you, you know, that you could truly provide value for? It just seemed like, you know, the money was dried up. They messed up all types of opportunities, and now it's situation critical. They desperately trying to find, or at least Myron is, not Walter, desperately trying to find ways to still monetize their very, I don't want to say gullible, but very yeah, pretty gullible. Let's just go with that. I was trying to make it softer, but no, their audience is pretty gullible. It seems like guys that are typically younger, you know, involuntary celibate gentlemen who, you know, they identify with these guys because the angry energy that they have towards women, those guys seem to have as well. So they really do, you know, look up to them a lot. You know, I think a lot of these guys lack a father figure or any type of strong masculine figure in their lives. And men desperately need that. If men don't have that, then men will innately look for that in other men. And sometimes it'll turn out to be good, and a lot of other times it won't. But they desperately look for a man to kind of like look up to, and that's gonna guide them. And that's how you end up with a podcast like Fresh and Fit becoming as white hot popular as it was. Because think about it, a year ago that shit was popping like crazy. But alas, this is what happens when you have a lot of young men that don't have positive male figures. They go looking for one, and YouTube is a popular platform who don't have a account on there, who don't have a channel. Not everybody uploads, but who don't have a channel. And it's only a matter of time, depending on the other stuff that you done looked up, that a clip from them ends up in your recommended. Right? Hey, check out this Victoria mansion behind me. This is why I love my city, man. Be finding all these different homes when I just be walking around, all these old style cribs. But I'm gonna leave it there, man. These guys have managed to mess up the best thing that ever happened to both of them. And it's fascinating to me how they just kept after failing. It wasn't a fail and then a recover. Like, they just fail and fail and fail, and they just refused to stop. The pathway that they were on, that they could see was wrecking their business. They stubbornly stayed on it. They never pivoted. They stubbornly stayed on it. Up to just what, yesterday? Yesterday is when they got reinstated and then banned within 24 hours. Just foolery. I cannot imagine if my platform, you guys, ever reaches any sort of significant level, and y'all could take this and clip it and hold on to it and remind me of it years later, whatever. If my platform ever reaches some level of significance and I start doing really stupid stuff to wreck my own success, I refuse to get out of my own way. I want you guys to send me this clip and remind me not to do this. You probably won't have to, but if for some crazy reason that ends up happening, shoot me this clip and remind future me not to fuck up the blessing that I have, the situation that I stumbled upon, the work that I have put in. Remind me not to fuck myself over. So I'm gonna leave it there. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining along for the ride. Let's keep growing together. And I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.